I get it if you have a fear of being seen online. I used to have a fear of being seen online until I realized that I could actually manage and bend my time by being seen online. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 tips for spiritual marketing your spiritual business and tips for you to be comfortable with being seen online. And so, I started this video title, or I named this video title, Fear of being seen online and manage and bend time. So you might be like, you can't manage and bend time. Well, you can manage time, can you? And can you bend time? Probably not. But what I will say is this video series, this is part 2 of this Fear of being seen online. If you've seen part 1, you kind of get a little bit of a flow of my tips. And if you haven't, check out the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, my YouTube channel. Check out the About page. I have the Fear of being seen online video series that go with my book. It's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. And so being seen online, like I'm here on YouTube, you're here with me, you may be on the other social media platforms, you may be watching this in my Soul Legacy Academy, you may be watching this in a Telegram group, you may be watching this in a Facebook group. So you kind of maybe get where I'm going with this. Being seen online, you can be seen, especially on video with your YouTube channel or YouTube podcast or what have you, in many different places without having to be there. And so I don't have to be here for you to watch this. So I manage and bend my time because I get to see you in your divine time. And I'm going to give you, again, these 7 spiritual business marketing tips. So this video series is a playlist. It's for my soul-led community, and I'm going to give you a bonus tip at the end. I'm also going to give you, if you don't have a copy of my book yet, again, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube, I am going to give you a free chapter of my book and a free 4-hour live masterclass that goes with the book as well. It's called the Spiritual Business Book Marketing on YouTube Masterclass and Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. And if you want to bank 50K in 50 days and you want to bring financial freedom as a result of you doing your spiritual business online and being seen by sharing your message, then I think you're going to love that masterclass, because having a fear of being seen online kind of dissipates more when you're in alignment with your audience and you position yourself as an author for your book and you share your story. Everybody, you know, if you've got a fear of selling, then just saying, you know, you can get a free chapter of my book, or you can get the Kindle version or the paperback, and I will do the Audible. It's a really lovely way to reduce that fear, because you've got something to say and you're not saying buy my stuff, buy my stuff. So again, I'll give you 7 spiritual business marketing tips. I will leave the timestamps and the chapters in the comments and in the description. I will pin the comments where you can purchase a copy of my book if you want to, and also sign up for the masterclass as well. I have a 1-page PDF plan, business plan for you if you want to be seen online and you want to use video. I'm using it right now, and this is the 4th stage on that plan of sitting on YouTube doing my videos, managing and bending my time. I have a free 7-day live YouTube challenge that is called 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge. And I talk about taking your own book on a virtual book tour and having visibility. And I have a community around that. I also have an invitation for you to write your own book. I'll share with you how to do that, how I wrote my own book, and how you can share your spiritual awakening story in my co-author book series. So if you have a fear of being seen online, you are going to love this video and this video series. So do subscribe to the channel. So let's dive into the first tip for that, again, has been taken and is related to my book. And again, I'll leave the links down for you to purchase it, and everybody else who is part of the readership community and in the book club around that on Telegram, on YouTube, and in the Soul Legacy Academy. Thank you for supporting me and loving up on me. So what I would say is the first tip for the fear of being seen online, or removing or reducing your fear of being seen online. You might still have that fear, but it doesn't mean to say you can't be seen. And using these 7 spiritual business marketing tips to market your business is not just about the business. You are the business, right? And so marketing is like marketing you. And that's why so many of us have that fear. Because if we marketed and just said, here's the book, we've got less fear. And so how I manage and bend time is I'm very intentional with my time, and my alarm might go off because that's my schedule. So apologies for that screaming alarm. It's actually Raja Kumari's now I can't show you my book again. Just dropped down the wall. Raja Kumari's songs. I love Raja Kumari. Anyway, show up in divine time is the first tip. So how would you show up in divine time? So I've got some tips that I've written down for you, so I can just share a little bit more, and then share with me what resonates with you. Share with me what you take away, and what you've actually tried before, and what you're actually going to try. As I scroll through my tips, and it keeps bringing me to the last tip. I don't know why. Show up in divine time. So I don't believe that you're late. You're not late. You're aligned, right? Because many of my students had said to me, especially if I run a live class, they say, or like a sequence of classes. Now, I talk about in my book about building a YouTube channel, and I have a 5-day challenge in my book. And then I have a 5-day challenge that makes it live. So the 5-day challenge is in the book, it's self-study. And then I have a week's worth of implementation. And sometimes people are like, well, I'm left behind. You're not left behind. It's your own journey. And where you start, everybody starts different. So you're not late, you're aligned. If you feel that lack of time and being aligned, then you're not going to show up in divine time. Divine time is divine time, right? So when you have a fear of being seen online, like you should have done it yesterday, you're not late, you're aligned. Divine timing is always on time, even if it doesn't fit the calendar. And so my journey, and I share this with my students, and I'll share this with you, and I'm very transparent. That's one of my values, and I'm very honest and open. And so the first video that I did in this series was on my YouTube channel, and it went live, and I didn't want it to go live. I wanted to record a series of videos. Like I've got 45 videos schedule out for this series, batch them, and then schedule on my YouTube channel like they go live. It's not like I say, oh, this is live, but it's scheduled. And so I will comment, and you can comment, etc. And so I was very transparent when I came on. I was like, I don't want to show up right now live, but I wanted to show up in my own divine time. And it was divine time. And I had a beautiful soul sister and a student of mine and a book reader, etc. Just a soul sister in the community on there supporting me, loving me, and getting value. So I showed up in divine time, even though I hadn't intended to do that. So I wasn't late, and it wasn't on my calendar. It was actually, these videos are actually scheduled out at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, on my YouTube channel for Sundays, and it was last Monday, right? And so I'm like, so to be transparent, these videos have been sat in my playlist. I've got my book on YouTube, and I'm on YouTube, and I've created lots of videos. But I had my book launch videos. I'd launched my book a couple of years ago. I did the Kindle, then a year later I did the paperback, and now I'm doing, and then I've launched it, and I wanted to take it on a virtual book tour. Life be lifing. I've been working on the back end of my business. And now I'm just getting to sitting on YouTube doing my videos full time to grow my YouTube channel. That's my divine time. It wasn't on my calendar. I've scheduled it out, then I rescheduled, I've scheduled it out, and I rescheduled. Even though I say I've got 3 videos on Sundays, I hadn't got into the groove. I'd set my intention to schedule on Sundays, and I had my birthday, and then I was climbing up a mountain, and then I went on a date, and then so I'm like, okay, well, let me just do them when I can, and then I'll schedule them out rather than doing them live. All right. So I want this part of this tip to show up in divine time, and this spiritual business marketing tip, and to help you be seen online and reduce that fear, is stop forcing the clock and start listening to the call, the calling of your soul. I have plenty of videos on YouTube, and people go, oh, Iona, you've got so much. And if you look on the majority of my videos, they're scheduled out because I manage and I bend my time. I schedule, and I'll talk about that more as we go through the video. You're not late. You're in divine alignment. You're on your divine assignment, right? when I stopped chasing someone else's timeline and trusted my own, everything shifted. And that included time zones. I was always out time zoned on certain guru stuff, their calls and their webinars and their what have you. I was always getting up in the middle of the night. I'm like, I'm gonna show up in my, excuse me, in my own time. So this is your permission slip to show up in divine time, not deadline pressure. I actually work well. I've got an ADHD type brain, and I set myself specific deadlines in my calendar, and I segment and intend my day, and I talk about that in my 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board challenge, an annual challenge. And so I show up every December, on the second week in December, for a week. I am manifesting my own vision board and me contributing. This is my badass spiritual business. I love it. It's based around my book. It's based around speaking my message. It's based around me being seen online, and I've overcome my fear of being seen online. Trust me, it was like it took a while. And so I said in the last video in part 1, I started messy, which I did. And now I can manage and bend time because I'm showing up in my own time. And it looks like I'm live, which I don't pretend to be live. But I will come back to your comments, and I schedule out my how I show up in divine time. I schedule out, you'll see lots of different, let me just show you, lots of different comments on underneath this video in the pinned comments, talking about my masterclass, where you can come. There's a replay in there, a 4-hour replay. I show up live on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. I'm speaking into where I'm going to show up in divine time. That's my time in my schedule. But you don't have to wait to schedule in. You don't have to wait to watch this. You don't have to wait to watch the masterclass. I'm showing up and I'm there with you, like going at it with you in divine time. And I absolutely love it. And so this is the book club. You can chat while you read my book or while you read others in our community and our soul-led community in Telegram and in Facebook. So I will attract you to me, and then I will show up in those spaces in divine time. By me managing and bending time, I'm saying, hey, you know what? For my book, I'm gonna have to pick it up. I've got another copy. For my book, come into the book club. We've got the book on Facebook. I've got chats in there. So, and apparently Facebook are going to remove the chat. So let's come into the Telegram. I can leave voice notes for you and show up and manage and bend my time. When I'm talking about spiritual business marketing, I'm talking about having a conversation and then meeting your subscribers and your students wherever they are. All right. So many nuggets. I could go on forever. All right. So let me share tip number 2, right? And so fear of being seen online and 7 spiritual business marketing tips to support you in being online and building your spiritual business online and building it with content that resonates with your audience, but also resonates with you. And so the second tip is follow energy, not the clock. Now, today, I would say I have the 7 freedoms frequency for intentional living. The 7 freedoms intentional living podcast. I've changed the title. And so the 7 freedoms are 7 areas of my life. And so I talk about living an intentional life. That's how I manage and bend time, because I live intentionally. And so I teach you how to live intentionally and flow with your energy, not the clock, meaning it's segments of time in my day. I time block because I've got an ADHD type brain, and it's having structure is really cool for me, but I have to have freedom within that structure. So it's the flow. And so when I am on, and I will be going back onto doing my daily lives, I've journal. Let me move my diary. So I journal in my Soul Legacy journal, and I talk about spiritual awakening, and I say 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. And so the story that you tell yourself every single day is what's going to manifest. So I tell my story that I have a vision of freedom. I have the value of freedom. I'm vibrating at the frequency of freedom. So I manage and bend my time by intending my day and my week and my month and my year. I love it. And so again, I'll show you. And if you check out my YouTube channel, people say, Iona, there's so much content, but I've scheduled it out. I know when I'm going to show up. So I've been doing this offline. I've done, oh my gosh, I started this series with 200 lives on Facebook. And then I was like, Facebook did an outage. So I moved on to YouTube, did about 100 and something days, had a break, did another 100 and something days, what have you. I'm due to come back on again. And I've been doing this anyway, but I'm sharing the process of how I flow with my energy. And so today I'm really sitting in a couple of weeks before I'm due to come back on live and do my journaling, really getting back into that practice. And so yesterday, which was Sunday, I actually intended my week, like how I wanted to live my week, how I want to contribute, how I want my health to be, my emotions, how I want to feel about my week, my environment, my relationships, my spirituality, and my finances. I'm intending and I'm setting that energy, and anything that I've done to date that worked, I'm keeping, and things that I don't want to do, I won't. And so I talk about having that spiritual life work balance. So flowing with your energy, not your clock. So many people say, I don't have time. You do have time. That's a poverty consciousness. And then it's a lack. And so flowing with your business, oh, that is so beautiful. Flowing with your business is just beautiful. And so, although this is not live and I'm used to going live, I will say that I just got a message from a hi message from my granddaughter, and she's my absolute world, my son's daughter. And so my son made his transition 10 years ago and she's almost 12. And so everything that I do, when I talk about this in the book, is like as a mama, as a grandmama, like I show up and I flow with the energy, not the clock. I'm here to leave my legacy. I'm really passionate about leaving my legacy. But this isn't about beating myself up. It's about enjoying the process and being a role model, right? It's not, oh, well, the days and the weeks are flowing by and I haven't done and I'm behind. It's not that. Follow what's flowing, not what's scheduled. And so again, I schedule these out and I schedule out my lives, and I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to do that now. I'm leaning in. And so I won't be dragged along with my business, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. When your energy is high, lean into the creation, not and connection. So I'll say that again. When your energy is high, so I'm looking at my phone. When your energy is high, lean into creation, not and connection. Rest is sacred. It's part of the soul-led momentum. Your frequency determines your impact. Like I feel really high vibe in this moment. I'm like really excited to share these 7 spiritual business marketing tips with you, so that when you are being seen online, you don't feel like you're left behind. You are following that flow and you've set that intention that you're just going to have. Like it's not about you, it's about the people that you're actually reaching, right? Your soul tribe, and why, right? And so your frequency determines your impact. I talk about soul tribe impact. So I say I used to force myself to post at an optimal times, but my energy was off. And so I know that many of you are like, if it's not right, I'm not going to do it. And then we drop off, and then we're like, oh, if I pause intentionally. All right. So I've had a big gap. I've had a big gap from my monthly community calls as well. I think it was like something like February. I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna cut February or March, something like that. I'm like, I'm not coming back on until September. And somebody's like, September. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I want to connect with people so I can show up and we can all build our spiritual business and we can connect and we can co-create and we can collaborate. So I love that. And so I'm creating a community around my book, around the videos, around my spiritual awakening, all the things, with co-authors and soul-guided influencers. Oh, it's just beautiful. And so I show up and I bend my time and I manage my time so that my business is scheduled out for 7 years. You may have heard me say that. And so my calls, when I say, oh, come for the monthly call, it's scheduled. I don't have to touch it. I can say to you, in the community on the Soul Legacy Academy, the soul, the global networking hub for soul guided influencers, there's a monthly call for us ambitious spiritual coaches, earth angels, authors, and entrepreneurs doing their light work in the world. on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. You can come and you can schedule on. I'd love to continue on this conversation with you. The link is down below. I manage and bend time, one, because you're watching a recording of this video, and two, because I've scheduled it out so I don't have to be there. So I follow my energy, not the clock. All right. But you can show up in your time zone, and my calendar converts your time zone, all the things. So I follow where the energy wants to go. If I feel lit up at 9 p.m., which I do, I've done my schedule. So sometimes my mastermind office hours are 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's to cover the time zones, but I'm lit up at 5 a.m. in the morning. You may not be. I'm like, I'm ready to go. And I'm lit up at 10 o'clock. That's 4 days in a month I've set for the different time zones and a long break in between. So I honor that, because your soul clients feel your energy, not your punctuality. All right. So I love that. So the third tip that I want to share for this fear of being seen online, part 2, and the 7 spiritual business marketing tips. Let me know if that would contribute to your spiritual business success, right? So the third tip is create spacious structure, right? And so I go all over the place because I'm like, I need to share this, but I want to bring it back and make the tip a little bit more solidified for you. And you can write down the tip, copy the tip, let me know which tip resonates with you, and how you can implement the tip. And if you want some support from me, then you can go to the Soul Legacy Academy and come to the masterclass or the online monthly call, and I'll share with you how we can work together. All right. So create spacious structure. If you want support to create spacious structure, and you're like, you might not be a structured person. I wasn't, but there's freedom within the framework. For the 1-page plan that I talk about, the spiritual business plan, for you creating your video content. And people say, Iona, you've got so much. And I'm like, it's the same content. I'm saying the same thing. If you really pay attention, and come off the social so you can manage and bend your own time, you'll hear that. So build systems that honor your soul, not pressure your nervous system. I've built systems that honor my soul, whether somebody likes it or not. Like some people, the people that my soul clients and my soul tribe, my soul needs really get it. They don't complain about it. They're like, how can I do it? I had a co-author collab call on Fridays, now Monday. And again, I'll stream these out on Sunday, but I'll be honest and transparent about it when in the week that I'm recording it, right? And so on Friday, I had a co-author collab chat. And it's a group chat to see if you're in alignment with coming and sharing your spiritual awakening story in our co-author book series. I'm really big into the power of collaboration. And so I only had one person on this call. I say only. And I'm like, okay, I think this is going to be a really fun call. It was epic. I loved it. Shout out to you, because you know who you are. And I know you're in, she's a book reader. She bought my book when I climbed up a mountain, and I came off the mountain, managing and bending time, right? Your spiritual business marketing, right? So I came up from a 24-mile hike, 13 and a half hours of hiking up 3 peaks in Yorkshire, in England. And I got a message. I've posted it in the book launch club. And basically she said, you've really inspired me this week. And I'm like, did I? And I'm like, oh, really emotional. So Leo. And so it was lovely to then get on a call. And I say a call to conversation. It's just beautiful. Anyway, so she sent me a message and said, you've inspired me. I've started my YouTube channel with more structure. And, I bought your book, and I've done this with my YouTube channel, and I've watched some of your videos. I've watched some of your masterclass. I'm halfway through it, 2 hours into this 4-hour masterclass. I'm like, wow. I was so emotional. I managed to bend time. I was hiking for 13 hours. This lady was going through my content. You're going through this while I'm doing something else. And then to get to meet her on the co-author collab call and invite her in and share with her how I can support her in writing her own book, and just the synchronicities and the content that I'm sharing and the format of the co-author book, and what I'm going to share with writing your own book, and how managing bending time with your own spiritual business and your own book marketing. can really be a thing. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna, and shout out to you again. I can see what you're doing on your YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, and you've scheduled out. Oh my gosh, and you've got links. And she said, and I did laugh. I was sharing the inside of my book. She's got a physical copy. And she said, I've noticed that you have links in there. And I said, yeah, this is why. I said, do you remember when I showed you the Movement Marketing Media Kit Challenge? She's like, yeah. And I said, and you're in the group for the monthly course? She said, yeah. I said, well, I've got 7 days of my YouTube channel challenge, which is annually in September, the 3rd week in September at 7:30 p.m. UK time every day, talking about your movement and being seen online and taking your book on a virtual book tour, etc. I said, yeah. I said, I've got that link in my book because it's for book readers as well and my viewers on my YouTube channel, but it's also for my book readers. She's like, oh, use the, what did she say? Use the damn page, people. And I just absolutely crap myself laughing. Put a link in the page. If you write your book or create your course with your book in mind and create it with calls to conversation, as I say, in mind, rather than calls to action, download my PDF, which nobody wants, and build a list, which nobody wants, and buy my stuff, which nobody wants, because there's a 1% email conversion rate. So nobody wants it. 99.99 people out of 100 are saying no. So nobody wants it, really. One person is a bonus person, just based on numbers. And that's the industry norm. Managing and bending your time, and this might go off a couple of times, managing and bending your time. I just have to actually do this. Actually reply to my granddaughter because my message is there. Managing and bending your time, right? She's on school holidays. Is really epic when you begin with the end in mind and you start messy and you go with that flow and you create spacious structure. So spacious structure looks like, well, I've got my book, but I've got this structure, but it feels expansive and it feels spacious because I'm inviting you to a conversation. And on these conversations, I get to know you and I get to know what it is that you resonate with my content, and I get to create more of that. That spacious structure had me speak to a co-author. She's a potential co-author. She's not enrolled as yet, but she will. And I'll get to share more and have a conversation and hang out and build relationships and all these things. I'm like, oh, I want my talk. So she says, am I okay? I'll message her in a second. I love her so much. And that's why I do what I do, as leaving a legacy. Let me go to tip number 3 and see if I want to say anything else. Creating spacious structure. Building systems that honor your soul, not pressure, your nervous system, as I said. Leave space to breathe, pivot, and receive. Ooh, leave space to breathe. Pivot if it's something's not working, adjust it, and receive. Receive the abundance, the prosperity. Like, I just love it. I'm like, I had one of our soul sisters who is a co-author. She and I will share all the co-authors on the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, in the Soul Legacy Journal podcast. We would be doing interviews before book launch day, and our book launch is on the 6th of May, which is my son's birthday. And I'm recording, but I'm also talking to his daughter, like managing and bending time. And I'm good with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, this time is for me to be, but I'm so used to recording live that whatever happens while I'm recording, I don't edit. I'm just like, here I be. So leave space to breathe, pivot, and receive. Spaciousness allows spirit to move through your message. Structure should support freedom, not suppress it. Now, I have a freedom to just be who I am and share with you in real time, like what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and invite you into my world if you resonate, rather than I've got this bells and whistles video that doesn't even allow for that spacious structure. So I say I'm a big fan of structure that breathes. Ooh, lives and breathes and breathes and breathes. You need space to pivot, reflect, and stretch. Too much structure will strangle your creativity, but too little leaves it scattered, right? So I like to know where I am, where I'm going to be, where I need to show up, even if I'm like, actually, I'm not going to do that this month, or I'm not going to do that this week. And I'm good with that. Find your sacred middle. And I've found my sacred middle. All right, let's move on to tip number 4 in this part 2 of this fear of being seen online. And again, this fear of being seen online, I've got 45 videos managing and bending my time. I've got 45 videos scheduled out here at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't shared this out, please do feel free to share it out. Buddy up with a buddy to go through my book, go through the teachings and implement some of these nuggets because they're just coming through me. So the 4th tip is batch, schedule, and align. Batch, schedule, and align. You've heard me talk about all the things. I'm talking about batching, I'm talking about scheduling, I'm talking about aligning my movement, my message, and my money. I love it. I do walk my talk and I practice what I preach. So tips for this is create content in flow and schedule when you're clear. If you're not clear, it'll feel cloudy. And many of my students who go through the book, or readers who go through my book, and then they become a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, they go through my 5-day challenge, which is a self-study challenge, and they get stuck. And I'm like, okay, well, you might be stuck. However, I've got a space where I have Q&A. And so this Q&A happens on the first Monday to Friday of the month at 7:30 p.m. UK time for 1 hour. And so it's Monday to Friday UK time, 7:30 my time. And it goes through my seasons, October through to April. So if you're out of the season watching this, then you can still, it's $111, or you, as an ethical bribe of mine, you can come to my masterclass and schedule. And again, the links will be in the description, in the comments, in the pinned comments, etc. around this video, to the Spiritual Business Book Marketing on YouTube and on Masterclass and Bank 50K and 50 Days Challenge. And so when you're scheduling and you're batching it and you're aligning, it's in flow. And so I invite you to schedule, batch, and align with me, aligning your movement, your message, and your money. And I lost my train of thought, but I will pick it back up. Content in flow, schedule when you're clear. So I was clear and I've been clear. Okay, well, this is when I want to show up. This is when I can show up. This is how I'm batching, scheduling, and aligning around my other commitments and my other areas of my life. If you're working full time, or if you have responsibilities like caring for loved ones, caring for children, family, parents, what have you, then batching, scheduling, and aligning is even more. Like, I've just done a video of for Calling in the One. It's a book by another author, 7 Weeks to Attract the Love of Your Life, on my second YouTube channel, my Intention Dating App channel. And I was like, okay, well, I've got my makeup on. This is what I intended on Sunday. I've got my makeup on. I can then do another video. I can do that video and I can do this video, do it in the middle of my day, because clearly Sundays are not working for me. I can schedule these out for Sunday, but so it's not in the middle of your work week, but I was just doing fun stuff. I'm like, this is not going to work for me. So I still will have the videos on YouTube, on my YouTube channel on Sunday, but I'm recording it at different times. So how I manage and bend time, this might be like, oh my gosh, Iona, really? But I'm here to help you implement. And when I make my challenge a live challenge, October through to April, here's where I can get questions, or you can get questions answered. And if you want to come into my mastermind, come to the masterclass and I will share with you how we have 40 plus office hours where you can get me, right? And so again, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., 4 days in the month on the 2 middle Tuesdays and Thursdays of the month in my mastermind. If you're like, I need your support and your energy, I need you to look over my stuff, I need your support while I do this stuff, then the mastermind shares more teaching. I can write, publish, and self-publish your book. I can use your YouTube channel. You can use YouTube ads, Amazon ads, etc. That's where we will go with managing and bending our time. As I learn, I will teach you. All right. So align your posting with your cycles. Okay, let me go back. Create content in flow and schedule when you're clear. Align your posting with your cycles, hormonal, emotional, and seasonal. So literally, like if I am in my cycle and I'm 52, so it's that perimenopause hormonal cycle. When my cycle is due, I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like, and I have signed up and enrolled for a personal trainer to become a personal trainer and a fitness instructor and a gym instructor and a nutrition consultant. And I'm like, okay, well, for couples and people that want to date on my second YouTube channel, that there's going to be me sharing more of that because that's what I needed. And so when my schedule and my personal schedule will account for hormonal changes and hormonal cycles if you choose it to be. So it will be a 3-week workout cycle because that's what works for me. So reduce decision fatigue by planning with purpose. And so again, I schedule out on my YouTube channel and I'll share more. And I share on what I call the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call-in Gym. I have 2 hours of spiritual life and work balance coaching each month. And I give that to all of my students who are in my 12-week bootcamp or my mastermind. Not everybody takes that up, but it's balancing your light work and your lifestyle. If you don't have room to build your spiritual business, then you're going to have a fear of being seen online because you're not really walking your talk and able to really work on those other areas of your life: contribution, health, emotions, environment, relationships, spirituality, and financial freedom. So reduce decision fatigue by planning with purpose. My business is scheduled out. I'll show you how to do yours. Consistency can still be intuitive. I love it. Like, I've scheduled these out for Sunday. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to be there on a Sunday. I'd rather do other stuff like climb a mountain or do a Tough Mudder or go on a date or what have you. I'm like, okay, but I still want to be there. But okay, I can create it in the week. And then, so it's still intuitive. Batching has saved me. I create videos, emails, and posts in flow, schedule them when I'm clear. And so how you get clear is working with your soul clients and knowing what it is that they want. I don't chase trends. I align with my soul rhythms. This isn't about hustle. It's about harmony. This isn't about hustle. It's about harmony. The fifth tip for this fear of being seen online series, and hopefully you're like getting, oh, like I don't have to show up and be a fraud. No, you don't have to feel like an imposter. No, you don't have to feel fear of selling, fear of success, and fear of failure. No, because you're going to fail along the way. Success feels amazing, and you don't have to sell. You just have to enroll and invite people in. All right. So again, these 7 spiritual business marketing tips are here at the Soul Legacy TV. Subscribe, share this out, buddy up, etc. 5th tip, redefine productivity. And so I will share this with you. Being busy isn't the same as being in purpose. Productivity equals alignment plus impact plus replenishment. Sometimes the most productive thing is to rest and receive. And I do that all the time. Like, I do walk my own talk. I do, like, if I need, when I did the Tough Mudder, which is on my vision board, it's an obstacle course, and I raised money for charity, Cruise Bereavement Care. No, not Cruise Bereavement Care. The Compassionate Friends, bereavement charity for bereaved parents, which I am one. I did the Tough Mudder, and that next week I took everything off my schedule. I laid up in bed. I needed it. When I did the 3 Yorkshire Peaks, which again was on my bucket list item, I took the week off. Like, I didn't, do you know what I mean? Like, you're good. So plan those things around your schedule and around your life. All right. Redefine productivity. Being busy isn't the same as being in purpose. Productivity and alignment. Rest is not measured. Oh, hang on. Rest. Sometimes the most productive thing is to rest or receive. Your value is not measured by your output. Like going. You're not your to-do list. You are not your number of views. Real productivity means you're moving with purpose, not pressure. Rest, silence, and receiving are all productive. Say that again. Rest, silence, and receiving are all productive. Let's redefine what success really looks like. So again, here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, I'm sharing with you how to balance your light work and your lifestyle. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed that tip. Tip 6 of the fear of being seen online. 7 spiritual business and marketing tips with me, Iona, is sacred time blocking. So if you're listening to this anywhere, or if you're in the Soul Legacy Academy, do comment down below. Let me know which of these tips are landing for you. Let me know which is really helpful. Let me know if you are a book reader, you're in the book club, invite somebody else in. So sacred time blocking, I've been talking about it the whole time. So time block your soul's priorities first. What fuels you and lights you up? If you haven't done my 1 week to create about our spiritual business vision board challenge, I invite you to go to the about or the description section of this YouTube channel and scroll down the playlist, and you'll see my intentional living vision board, 1 week to create about our spiritual business vision board. And I talk about, again, the 7 areas of freedom for intentional living. I mean, the vision of freedom, the value of freedom, and vibrating at the frequency of freedom. And it's not through lack, and it's not through fear, right? Fear of being seen online is not the best place to build your spiritual business. I'm just saying. So sacred time blocking. Time block your soul priorities first. What matters most to your mission is fueling you, looking after your health, knowing how you want to feel, and doing things that make you feel amazing. Even if you have fear of being seen online, eventually you're just gonna have to do it. And I've done so many videos that you will never see. I'm just saying. And protect your energy. It's like your currency, because it is. Protect your energy like it's your currency, because it is. Honor your work blocks, rest blocks, and spiritual practice equally. So when we are talking, I'm coaching you, right? And it's $77 per month to have this 2-hour group coaching call. However, if you're a student of mine, then I will gift you an entire year. Can't say fairer than that, because I block my time, because I honor my rest, and because I know how important this is for you to do your divine and light work in the world. And so honor those. And we segment intend your day, your week, your month, and your year. So we're launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day with ease, grace, and flow. If you want support around that, again, I will be doing the journaling every single day, the journaling that I use to set my soul's intentions, to express gratitude, to visualize how I've actually shown up here is using that journal. It says record the video for the podcast. Yes. All right. Let me see what else. Balance is created by what you say no to. If your diary, if your schedule already has what it is that you need, what it isn't that's in alignment with your badass spiritual business vision board, you're going to say no to what isn't in alignment with that. It's just a hard no. It's like you have to say no. And if it isn't an income generating activity, this for me is a passive income generating activity. So I'm inviting you to buy my book, even though I dropped it on the floor. I'm inviting you to purchase the book, and I'm inviting you to come and work with me if we're a soul match and if that resonates with you. And the best way to find out that is to come to the masterclass live. You get bonuses to come live and come to our monthly call in our community. And again, we have the hub, we have the vision board challenge is in the hub for you, waiting there for you. Last year's replays, this year's live, so you can click the notify me button. The movement marketing media kit challenge is in there to support you in going live online. Again, last year's replay, this year's, so you can come live with me. Fear of being seen online. I don't have a fear of being seen online. Now I'm saying, do you know what? Click that notification button so you know when I go live. And so sometimes when my students are like, oh, I don't want to go live, and then they learn to go live, and then they're like, well, where are all the viewers? You'll have the other opposite effect. And again, I'm sacred time blocking to spend time with you live, although you can watch me on replay. All right. Balance what to say no to. I block time for my priorities first: spiritual connection, deep work, rest, and movement. And again, I just said to you, I'm going to go to the gym. I've got until 6 o'clock to go into the gym. I've taken a picture of the times when the studio is available. I've looked at that this morning, and it's between 12 and 1. I did my first video, and I'm like, do I have time to do this one? Let me check the gym. Yes, I do. Slow down, get this done, and then go to the gym. And no, I did not expect it to be almost an hour. I use color-coded blocks to hold energetic boundaries around what matters most. You can't outsource your soul priorities. And so the way that my online calendar looks for intentional living, so contribution is red on my calendar, where I'm contributing. This is on my calendar. Health, my gym is on my calendar. Emotions, I'm tapping in the morning when I wake up, releasing. Environment, where I want to work, going to my co-working offices, going for a walk. I like to walk out in nature. Right now I'm in the middle of Leeds, and so I don't have that, but I go to the gym. I make the most of my environment. All right. Relationships, how I build them. I've been talking about, I've just done a whole video on my second YouTube channel for calling in the one, my love of my life. I talked about my relationship with you. I talked about my relationship with my co-authors, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my granddaughter, just all things. Spirituality, being guided, right? I say soul guided influences, being guided by our soul, and financial freedom, being okay with receiving financial freedom or leverage soul client income. And again, I'll talk about it on the masterclass. All right, next tip, sacred time blocking. This is the last of the 7 tips, and then I've got a bonus tip, right? So the fear of being seen online, is your fear easing a little bit? And are these 7 spiritual business marketing tips helpful to help you show up in a different way online? Trust soul timing. So what's meant for you will never miss you, even if it's delayed. One of my best friends says, what is meant for me will never pass me by. She just knows that. She's secure in that. She's like, if it's meant for me, like letting go of something and it will come back. It will never pass you by if it's meant for you. This is something better, right? Even if it's delayed and it's not coming in the time that you want to wrestle it to the ground. Your soul clients are on their own divine timeline too. Trust your process, your growth, your slow days. Timing isn't just divine, it's designed. I've learned the difference between waiting and trusting. Your timeline, again, is divine. Your work is sacred. Your clients are coming on their own clock. Let the mystery, lean into the mystery. It's part of the message. And what I do is I hold on a Friday, except for the last Friday of the month, either at 3 p.m. or 9 p.m. UK time, I hold co-author collab chats. If you want to become a co-author and learn more about that, it's in the hub. And so if you go to the Soul Legacy Academy, let me see if I've got a banner for one of these. If you go to the Soul Legacy Academy and you come into the hub, and I'm looking. So if you go to the masterclass, you can get into the hub as well. I'm looking to see if I've got the hub on here, and I don't appear to. If you go to, like I say, the Soul Legacy Academy, hang on. If you go to the masterclass, you can. It's got a link into the hub, and so, or go to the title bar, and you can get into the hub. And so all of what I'm sharing with you is in the hub. And so becoming a co-author and being seen, visible, being interviewed by me personally, I'm just so excited for it. And so it's part of your message. And so when I have a call, I'll give to the end of the month for co-authors to enroll, even if I've had a call at the beginning of the month or the first 3 or 4 Fridays of the month, depending on how many weeks are in the month. And then I'll say, by the end of the month, I need to calculate pages. Then that's the deadline. I don't rush people, but I do let people know, hey, this is in divine time. There is a deadline, unless you let me know. So they're coming on their own time. What I want to share is the last tip, which is a bonus tip. I don't know if I've got this up here. Hang on. Excuse me. What I would say is actually the free chapter, there's 2 free chapters of my book. The first one is, there's 11 key principles. The first key principle for starting, building, and growing a successful online spiritual business on YouTube with a #1 best-selling book launch. That's the free chapter. That's the introductory chapter. The first key principle is the principles of consistently going public. If you've got a fear of being seen online, that may help you. And the second key principle is the principles of integrity-based self-publishing. And I talk about that quite a lot, as in publishing and taking the reader from your book into your online teaching portal. And so, bonus tip, fear of being seen online is not just about the fear of being seen online, right? You can join, ask to access all of the Google Docs in the playlist and in the comments in the pinned description. So let me give you this bonus tip that I will leave you with. Fear of being seen online is not just the fear of being seen online. It's not just about showing up online. It's about showing up as your full self. And you don't have to fear. It's your own divine time. Again, not when you feel ready or perfect, but when you feel real. I want to say that again because I know that'll land. Not when you feel ready or perfect, but when you feel real, right? Raw and real. Being seen in your truth is being seen in your power. So share in the comments what has been your biggest takeaway from this video. Which one of these tips have helped you feel more free around time and visibility? Copy and paste the one that has resonated with you most. Again, join purchase the book, buy the book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch. I can't hold it up again because it's fallen on the floor. And a Soul Guided Influencers Compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube, on Amazon. I will link and pin all in the comments, all of the countries, your specific country, to get the book on Amazon. In the Kindle Unlimited, it's $5.55 for the Kindle book and $15.55 for the paperback. So you do the equivalent. And I love it when I see my readers take a picture with the book. So I got a picture yesterday, thank you, to my beautiful soul sister who sent me the picture. So if you want to send me a picture, just join one of the book clubs. So you can send a picture on Telegram, the SBYN Book Launch Club, or you can join the Facebook group, wherever that link is. I don't think I even have that one on there. Do I have it? I do. I'm sure I do. Oh, it's in the comments. Hang on. Hang on. So the Telegram group and then the Facebook group. So Facebook, Spiritual Biz Book Launch Club. Hit me up, come and ask to join the group, and then you can send a picture and I can post it and share the love, and do leave a review for the book. That is it for this fear of being seen online. 7 spiritual business marketing tips with me, Iona Mead, here at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I shared with you how I manage and bend time. Did you love that? If you loved it, like the video, comment. Let me pull this off here. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to find something else. If you love this playlist, click notify me to get when I go live. Let me know how you find it, and do leave a comment because I've loved it. And somebody said on the first part 1, said, well, an amazing title. So hopefully you'll love more in this series. And I can't remember what is the next one, but you will see. I'll leave it in the cards and in the description, in the end screens. Right about now, I'll leave the playlist for you, and I'll also leave part 3. All right, be blessed in your purpose is to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep, because you were born to serve. Take care. Thank you so much.